Welcome to another episode of AI-assisted course creation. In this video series, two seasoned edupreneurs, Aruna and I, Gautam, are using the popular ChatGPT and other large language models to rebuild an online course from scratch.
So far, we've used ChatGPT to list down the steps of course creation, help us create our course landing page, and brainstorm the main learner outcomes of our course. Today, we go further and start to develop the details of our course's live sessions. ChatGPT is going to help us craft activities for our sessions that will then help our students achieve their outcomes of the course. So, how do we plan to do this? In 3 steps. The first step is we create an educator persona on ChatGPT. The second step is we describe in detail to the persona what her task for today is. We'll give a lot of context about our course to the persona, and we also specified the format of the output we want from her. And then the third step is we keep iterating on various inputs and feedback. Over to you, Gautam.
The first step I'm going to do is create our favorite online course creator persona on ChatGPT. As a next step, we're asking Emily that we want her help to create activities to encourage and facilitate active learning for our course. And we're giving Emily the following inputs: what our course title is, what our course description is, and we're asking for 5 activities for the course, detailed with context, instructions, time limits, and a rubric. And we're encouraging Emily to browse the web and learn about active learning before she gives us the output. Let's go. ChatGPT has finished browsing. That took a while and has given us an output mentioning 5 different types of activities and given the description of what those activities are. These examples and the descriptions feel very generic. They're not in any way specific to our course. So I feel like this output does not cut it. What I can try next is giving more context and more specific instructions to Emily. And I've mentioned the details about including context, description of activities, instructions to students, time limits, and a rubric. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with.
Okay, so this is great. I really like Emily's work here. And this is exactly the direction that we want her to be going. There's a couple of things that I want to point out. First is, as far as the format goes, I would like to see a greater amount of details. For example, with instructions, I want them addressed to the student in second person. So as though they're coming as a step-by-step guide from the instructor. And another thing I'd also like is for the rubric to be more detailed and for it to be in a table format. If we were making a workbook or something, this entire thing can just be pasted into it and sent to the student. Another comment I want to make is about the content of the activities itself. So this would be where Gautam and I are iterating on the prompt we're giving Emily. We would like to provide Emily with a little bit more information about our course, specifically the course learner outcomes. So this is something that we created in the last video. And for those of you that haven't watched it, be sure to go check out a previous video on how we created learner outcomes for this particular course with the help of Emily. So for each of our learner outcomes, how about we ask for maybe 5 activities each? It's always good to ask for more activities just so we have options. And then when we're actually sitting down and creating the sessions, we can choose what we want to include in them.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to craft a prompt that factors in all the inputs that Aruna just gave us. I've made it specifically clear to Emily that I want to make 3 additional changes. The most important one being redoing the activities and classifying under each learner outcome. So all the activities should have a belongingness to a certain learner outcome. So I mentioned that specifically, and I've given Emily the 3 learner outcomes that are part of our course. You can find it on our course website already. The second bit is making it clear to Emily that she has to list down the exact steps for each activity and making clear that I should be able to just directly send it to the student. Third, I've mentioned the point about rubrics in a table format. So let's see what Emily comes up with.
Okay, this is very promising. So the first learner outcome we have for her is by the end of the first session, learners will be able to profile a student base for their course and detail specific needs, aspirations, and potential hurdles the students may face. Activity 1.1, student persona creation. So let me first say what I like about the activity. I like that the instructions to the student are clear and concise, and they're addressed to the student the way we wanted it. And what I like about the rubric is, again, the formatting is all good. and there's a set of criteria, and there's a ranking of excellent, good, and needs improvement on what the output should be to fall under each of these classes. What would I like to do a little bit differently using this? First is student persona creation, the activity. I think I wanted a little bit smaller in scope. What I mean by that is I like steps 1 and 2, where based on the course idea, the student is imagining who their ideal student will be, and they want to give demographic information, professional background, personal interests, and potential motivations for taking that course. I think this bit is good. Step 3 of identifying potential challenges, I would personally put it in a separate activity. And as far as the rubric goes, I do want to see even more details in each of these categories. For example, it says detailed description with all necessary information. That's a little vague. Instead, I want it described as here are the 5 things that it should include, right? And then maybe good is just 3 out of those 5 are satisfied. And then needs improvement is where maybe just 1 or 2 of those 5 criteria are satisfied in this. So that's my feedback for what Emily has come up with.
Awesome. Emily's also made sure that she followed our instructions that we gave very clearly and come up with 5 activities each for all the learner outcomes. We'll be incorporating some of them based on the feedback that we have into our course. Yeah, good job, Emily. This is excellent work.
If you want to see what the final version of the activities that went into our 2-day course are, sign up for the waitlist for our course. We'll give you a preview. The link to the course is shared in the description. With that, we come to the end of this video. We'll be back with another video next week. If you enjoyed that video, please don't forget to like the video, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel.